report out, but let's see the Dunswell-Smith as well.
The Dunswell-Smith's got to come out as well.
Well, that's good. Now, you want to get back on to Senator Ian Lamarckle, the Home Affairs Minister. I mean, he's in a mess with all this stuff. Now,
sometimes I get lost for words when you know. I listened to most of the state's debate on Tuesday. I managed to, and he was pulling. It was just like, you know, oh, he was just pulling stuff out. Yeah, I mean, how did he described Wiltshire as the definitive report.
Yeah, definitive. Yeah, he used that word quite a few times.
Definitive report on Operation Rectangle. I mean,
it's nothing of the sort.
He's just changed totally what Wiltshire's about. Wiltshire was a disciplinary investigation where...
A prosecution case.
It's a prosecution case where they get everything together, it goes to the tribunal or whatever you call it, you know, and both sides put their cases out, and then you kind of get, you know...
In a functioning democracy.
In a functioning, you get the conclusions.
Yeah.
It's
in
not
Jersey.
But the reason why Senator Lamarckle calls Wiltshire's a definitive report and all that, because it's the only thing he has. He has nothing else. It's like his life raft. He's like in the middle of the Atlantic, and it's the only thing he's got to grab hold of. There's nothing else for him, you know, because at the end of the day, he suspended Graham Power. He carried on the suspension of Graham Power on one thing and one thing only. That was David Walkup's letter, because when he came to the suspension review, he was not allowed to use any reference to the Metropolitan Police because of all the fiasco of what happened on the 12th of November. The Metropolitan Police threw everything at Jersey. They were not happy with what had happened. That was a disgrace, basically. David Walkup should have known. How David Walkup didn't know,
He must have known.
He must. I mean, it's just
a man of his experience,
it's bizarre, but. Yeah, so Senator Lamarckle, you know, let me just tell you, I'm going to tell you now, like, why this is happening. Because when Wiltshire started their investigation, say in January of 2009, what happened was they missed 2 completion dates.
That's right.
They missed 2 completion, before June 2009, Wiltshire missed 2 completion dates. That means they were starting to get bogged down. It was starting, you could see it was already started to get bogged down. So what did they do? What did the Senator Lamarckle do?
Come out with that, what he called.
In June 2009, he suspended Graham Power again on Operation Blast.
But we've got to make this clear.
Listen, you got two completion dates have been missed.
By Wiltshire.
Wiltshire. They know it's getting bogged down. It's starting to look like, you know, there's going to be problems. So what do? They suspend Graham Power again in June 2009, and they get Wiltshire to investigate Operation Blast. The reason they did that was so simple, is because it was never meant to reach a disciplinary conclusion. They knew it. You only have to look at the original suspension, the absolute.
Well, we've got to say, Operation Blast.
As Ian Lamarckle would say, you know, investigating this stuff, it's beginner stuff. It's beginners. It's just ridiculous.
But Operation Blast didn't exist. There was no such thing called Operation Blast as far as Graham Power is concerned.
The Solicitor General gave it to David Walkup. David Walkup gave it to Ian Lamarckle. It's in the statement that Ian Lamarckle brought to the States of Jersey in June of 2009. Anyone can go to Hansard and look at it. He did that after Wiltshire had already missed 2 suspension dates. He did that to stop the disciplinary process. And if anybody wants to go and read something, read suspension 1 and 2, which is on your Voice for Children blog. And when you read those 2
suspension reviews,
you see why it happened. Because Graham Power's representative, Constable Brain, was absolutely wiping the floor with Senator Lamarckle. He knew it, and there was not a chance that was going to a disciplinary process. But I know we've gone off tangent a little bit here, but back to Matt Tapp. You know, what's important about the Tapp thing is the shenanigans that's going on here. You know, Matt Tapp should have come out of Graham Power's office, and flown home. But it doesn't work like that in Jersey. No, a little phone call. Next minute he's in the chief executive's office. You know, what is the chief executive thinking here? Like, he's getting involved in policing matters, because Tapp is looking at all the, you know, he says that, you know, he's looking at witness statements. Now, if he's looking, I mean, I'm just, you know, I call it as I see it. You know, no one else has looked at it. but I'm looking at it and I bring it out, and I'm seeing conflicts of interest everywhere.
The state media don't seem to be seeing any of it either. Again, but we don't want to go into one about the state media, do we?
But going back to Senator Lamarca, now after the states debate on Tuesday, I was just like, what is going? What? Okay, it's in the states chamber. It's a little bit of game of tennis. He knows. Okay, I've got half an hour. Just bat it off. Just say anything, bat it off, and I'm out of here. Go and get a sandwich. But so I was like, oh, this is ridiculous. So I contacted BBC Radio Jersey, and I said to BBC Radio Jersey, I said, look, why don't you set up a program, an hour special, where we discuss all these issues, and I will go head to head with Senator Lamarca with all the facts. I said, it's not something I want to do, but it's got so ridiculous with what he's coming out with, but I'm prepared to sit in a studio on an hour's program, people can phone in, and I will challenge the minister with some good, hard, solid facts.
Sounds good. So,
well, BBC Jersey contacted the Home Affairs Minister and said, like, yeah, this is, the blogger, as a blogger, I wanted to come out, oh, we're just bloggers. No, I'm prepared to come out and fight this corner and fight it hard. But he declined.
He declined the invitation?
Yeah, doesn't want to do it.
Well, was he in the toilet, do you think?
He could have been. He probably could have been anywhere. But, here or there, he didn't want to. I just want to say, look, I'm not just doing, I'm on a blog and blah, 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 and it's like people, no, I was prepared. I was prepared to come out and
to go head to head with the Home Affairs Minister.
Yeah, and have it out, because I know it's waffle he's coming out with, and he knows, but I know.
He knows that you know.
Yeah, but it's waffle. But I will challenge, because I just, this is not Einstein stuff. They didn't hide any of it, because in 2008 the internet and the blogging wasn't really kicking. So they were just doing all the stuff. They didn't try to hide it. Yeah. But now someone's come and started looking at it. You don't even have to go. You don't have to go too far under the surface. It's just kind of sitting there. How no one else has done this, I don't know.
Well, that's right. How many journalists have we got on this island? Yeah, don't get me started on that.
I'm not going to get you started on that. But
so.
But the issue surrounding Tapp is very serious, because it's that conflict of interest. We really need to get to the bottom. You're undermining the chief of police here.
Yeah.
This is, what,
So what will be the next move? Where do we go from here then? Well, you're going to be Matt Tapp 11 now.
Yeah, next week, next week, what I want to bring to the readers next week is the complete document of Operation Tumour. I've been unable to do it for the last couple of weeks for obvious reasons.
Operation Tumour is
the IPC Metropolitan Review into Lenny Harper's complaint.
Yeah.
On the about the Met interim
where it came out that there was no criticisms from the Met.
That's right. Yeah. So I want to give that. I want to give the full, so people can see. I don't want to hide. I'm going to get it out. I don't want to hide anything. So once I want to put it out there. And then sometime next week, I'm working on another quite a big blog posting. I think it's a big blog posting, but I'm just doing my research and that on it now. For me, it's like a million times above Matt Tapp. But
it's not the Matt Tapp. So what is it then?
No, I you know what I'm like. I don't want to talk about it really until I know. I want to get it right and get it out there. But that will be coming out next week, and and I just think. I'd like to finish, something that I mentioned a long time ago in one of my interviews was this all can happen as well because of the state's chamber, the makeup of the state's chamber. There's an absolute lack of any, if integrity is not the right word, but we've got about 4 or 5 politicians who seem to be of the right moral fibre, who just, want the truth and all that. But we have this whole groupthink of a chamber that just allows this to happen, and they don't say anything, and it's continuing to happen. Look at, I don't want to really go in, but look at what Senator Balash is doing with the Electoral Commission. It's just being allowed to happen. No one, it's just...
The Committee of Inquiry, the rest of what Senator Balash has been getting away with.
If you can undermine and suspend a chief of police during an abuse investigation, and let's face it, they had done to the chief of police everything that the abuse survivors had been saying was going on for decades. They never trusted the police because the police wouldn't take them seriously. And what happens during a live investigation? You've got the executive commissioning outside media consultants to do reports on the police investigation into the states of Jersey. You've got a chief of police suspended on what? A letter? God, you know.
From a guy who could be the most conflicted one.
You just cannot make this up. And yet no one seems to want to do anything
There
about
are some good state members, we must say.
I say, yeah. Again, I've got to give credit to, like, you know, especially to Deputy Pittman, Higgins, and Tadeo for, like, standing up. And you know, okay, it wasn't easy for them because it's easy to criticise them. Okay, some of the supplementaries could have been short, but at the end of the day, when you're giving questions to somebody who's playing dumb and just pulling anything out, you can't. It's a process that's not going to work. Or you keep chipping away, you know, maybe you come back with something more, and I hope they do. But you know, this is so serious. It goes at the end of the day, BFC. It is child abuse. We are talking about child abuse. They did it in the middle of a child abuse investigation, and that is just so sad.